Hey YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Monstrosity Motors. So what we're going to be doing in today's video is trying to quiet this guy down. It just has an open header right now, and it's pretty loud. So I picked up the RLV Muffler kit from GoPowersports.com. We'll get that put on, also going to header wrap it, and then I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of, like, I think I'll do it idling, a takeoff, a drive-by, and just to kind of see how much, if it actually makes much of a difference or not. So we'll get to that in just one second. I also wanted to introduce you guys to another one I picked up. This thing. So instead of it being a monster moto, I'm going to call it a Monstrosity Moto, because it looks like they lost their seat or something and welded on this big bar stool. It's still got the little 80cc motor on it, but that'll come off. We'll put a Predator on it. And what my plans are going to be is the original one is going to be more like performance based. I'll do like the stage 2 kit with the flywheel and all that kind of stuff. And then this one's going to be more like the creature comfort. So I'll put electric start on the Predator, charging coil so I can do lights and blinkers and whatnot. And this one might even be able to be street legal. I just don't know what it takes here in Montana. So that's that guy. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, if you want to see this stuff coming up. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this guy up on the welding table. That's where we're going to do the work on it, and we'll get that muffler installed. Alright, so to add the muffler to this guy, what I did is I just picked up they had a muffler kit from GoPowersports.com, and it comes with the RLV muffler, and you can get it in the 1-inch or I think it's 1 5/16. I got the 1-inch pipe, so I went with that one, and it comes with a nice clamp to clamp it onto the exhaust pipe, and then also these guys here for a brace. And I think they're just gonna, you're supposed to just figure it out yourself, because it doesn't look like there's anywhere nice to put this thing. So I'll have to figure that out. Probably have to cut it up, maybe re-weld it or something. But I do need to cut this off because this is the trumpet header, and if you guys can see on the video or not, it does bubble out here, and so I will have to cut it down. But first off, I'm going to go ahead and get this seat off of here. There's just 2 screws right here. Pop it off just to make it a little easier to work with, and then I can kind of see where I want to go distance-wise with this muffler. Alright, so from this angle you can probably see a little bit better that what I was talking about with the trumpet header kind of bumping out. So it steps up once right here and then flares out, and that's the trumpet part. But because of that, this muffler won't just slide right on there. So I need to cut the muffler down also, because I want to try to keep it about the same length as where the header exits now. And I'm going to need to leave a little bit of the tube that goes in past these parts, because it actually just clamps down on the tube. So I'll just line this up and kind of eyeball it. And I think right about there should be pretty good. So now I just need to get my grinder out, cut that off real quick, and then we can test fit this muffler. Alright, so there's the header pipe cut down. It's really simple. I just took my grinder and cleaned it up with the file. And now I can test fit the muffler on there. Should just slide right on. Bam, just like that. Except for normally you'd have the clamp. But I'm not clamping it on yet. I was just test fitting it, mock up stuff. There we go. But I still have to figure out the brace and how I'm going to do it. Attach it somewhere to the engine and then try to fit it in. I'm not sure yet. I'll look at it for a moment and figure out what I want to do, and then we'll get right back to it. Alright, so the game plan I came up with for the brace is I'm actually not going to even mount it to the engine. I'm going to cut it down and then weld the bar to the header here, and then the header here, and then that'll brace it so it doesn't vibrate a whole bunch. And then I can just take it off as one piece instead of having to unbolt it from the engine and stuff like that. Plus, their solution was to use these hose clamps to hold it on there, and that would look kind of janky, I think. And so I'm just going to weld it, and then once I get that all done, we can header wrap it and look even better. this is what I came up with. I just cut the bar down and braced it from here to here, welded it in. Went ahead and took the sandpaper and cleaned up this part of the header. I don't know if it was the paint when I originally did it or what, but there's a bunch of like weird buildup, and so sand that off. I'm gonna paint this thing next, and then once it's cured, we can get it header wrapped, and then I'll bolt it back up and then compare them. See if it sounds a lot better with the muffler or if it's just slightly quieter. So here's how the header turned out. Oh, repainted and welded up. Didn't have to be pretty, but it's gonna get covered in the wrap, but didn't want it to rust. So picked up this roll of header wrap off of Amazon. It was their Amazon's Choice one, so hopefully it's a good one. And I've never done header wrap before, so this is gonna be new for me, but I'm just gonna follow their instructions. If I'm doing this and their instructions are not accurate or there's a better way to do it, leave me a comment down below and I've got 50 feet of it, so I can always re-wrap it if I need to. So one thing I did notice though is since I put this brace here, to get it started is going to be a little bit harder at this point. So I might take a strip and cut it in half because that's about 2 inches wide, just to get it wrapped around this section up to about here, and then I'll switch back to the regular 2-inch stuff. So let's try it and see. Oh, one thing the instructions did say is get it wet, but don't soak it because that can make it not as good, I guess. So I'm just gonna pour some water on it, but it's beading right off. Here's the header all wrapped up. That was actually a bit harder than I was expecting. Probably because this tube's only 1 inch. If I had like doing like an automotive exhaust or something, it'd probably be a lot easier just because it's bigger. And I don't know, I've seen some people online say to soak this stuff and it wraps better, but the instructions that came with it said not to. I don't know. It might have been easier, but it's nice. It came with those the stainless zip ties, kinda. You just pull them and then bend them and cut them off. So yeah, we should be able to bolt this guy back on the bike and then get the muffler on there. Alright, so we got the muffler on there. It's nice and snug, header wrapped, braced. It's not going anywhere. So I'll have to wait till tomorrow morning to test it because it's now like 10 o'clock or yeah, 1 minute to 10, and so it'll be dark, and yeah, so we'll get to that tomorrow, and then I might also pull the muffler back off and paint it. But the header wrap, I don't know if you caught in the hyperlapse, I first cut this off because I was dealing with the whole roll, but I figured I had enough. I cut it off, and then when I was wrapping it, I was just a tiny bit too short, so I had to cut another piece. But you get 50 feet of this for like 12 bucks, and I've got this much left and this whole wrap. So it'll last a long time, at least for me, because I think I can do my Ruckus header, this, maybe Brandon's header, I don't know. But it seems like a pretty good deal. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description if anyone's interested in picking this up. But all I got left for tonight is I'm going to slap the seat on. And then yeah, unfortunately I'll have to wait till the morning to see how this thing sounds, and hopefully it sounds a lot quieter. Alright, so we got the muffler all installed, the header wrap, all that kind of fun stuff, so let's get her started and see how she sounds. Well, it's quite a bit quieter, but that clutch is really annoying. It's got to get replaced. So luckily I did just purchase a Juggernaut torque converter from GoPowerSports.com, so that'll be on the next video. So stay tuned for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the comparison videos with the open header. So I'll have it just idling, and then a takeoff and a drive-by. So let's get to that. Alright, so there you got it. The muffler on there, it did quiet it down. It's still not quiet by any means, but it's a lot better. It's not ear-piercing loud. It almost felt like I got a little bit more power out of it too. It could just be my brain, but actually it felt really nice and smooth. Unfortunately, one thing I did find out is my choke lever, the bracket that holds it on, it came loose, lifted up, and the lever fell off when I was riding it last night. I did find it today, but unfortunately it has been ran over by a car, and it's plastic, so it's all broken. But I can still move the little lever on the carburetor itself manually, so that's not that big a deal. But overall, I'm happy with it. It sounds good. I was skeptical at first because looking in the muffler, there's no packing at all. But there's just a bunch of these mesh grids. So it works good enough, and I actually really like it. But like I said too before filming the muffler sound, this clutch has got to go. It's just a cheap one. It engages when it's not supposed to, and it sounds horrible. So like I said, I got the torque converter that I picked up. That'll be coming up here real soon. So stay tuned, and like I said, subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you want to see that kind of stuff. And yeah, so that's going to wrap this one up. And thanks a lot for watching. Hope you guys have a good one.